What's going on, guys? Good evening. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. Sexy market today. Honestly, kind of let down, but I thought even we'll get bigger move, but it's going to be interesting to see where we close. Um, we'll get started in 3 minutes, okay? Just waiting. Yeah, if it's going to go, it has to go. Honestly, I expected more today. I was kind of it was kind of a letdown. I thought we'll see a lot of chaos once we lost the lows, but still made good money, upside, downside. Carlos, do you still journal your trades? I mean, I study my entries, exits. If, most of the setups that I take, right? If you guys see my trades, it's almost the same kind of setups. I always look for swing lows or swing highs forming, failures, right? Bounces, reclaims, right? The same setup I try to trade for the most part. Those are my biggest trades. If I take a breakout trade, it's a it's something that I'm chasing, tight momentum trade, something like that. But for the most part, it's going to be maybe 5, 10%, 15% risk on every trade, and then I'll try to get a good return. If I'm right, like someone said, if it's gonna go, it'll go. It'll become a big winner, which is usually the case if market's not choppy. But if I'm wrong, right, I'll take that small loss, right? If I take, like, let's say 10 trades a week, right, 1 or 2 trades, 3 trades, maybe I'll take a 10% loss or something like that. And then when the wins hit, it will be like 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe even 100. We'll get started soon, guys. I'll do Q&A a little bit. What did you trade today? I mean, you guys know what I traded. I traded Tesla longs, Apple longs, SPY longs at the open, and then I did SPY shorts. 2 entries on SPY shorts. One at that 643 area, which was pretty close to the 50-cent risk, which is the first trade I took. I took profit on that, to be honest with you guys. I took profit on that. And then when we popped to that 642, it was a little bit more risky. I did one more short there, 642, 641.50. And I sold before even 640 broke because I didn't want to stay. And I thought market will chop a little. I was right. We did drop, what, 638.50, but it wasn't like crazy. Honestly, I thought that 640 broke will kind of just drop to 635, 634. But it's kind of shitty. Tomorrow we're like literally spike and drop. You guys can see the chart here. It's just dropped like $3 today on the day. It feels like a lot more, but it's not. It's just literally dropped because of tech bounces tomorrow. We're back into the same range. We'll get started in a minute, guys. 30 seconds. If you guys are just joining in, welcome in. Hit the like button, subscribe button. I want the stream popping. We're going to look at a lot of good things. First, I'll cover what trades we took today. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look forward to see what else we have in the week. And then maybe we can look at some more setups for the week, okay? But today was the day. Oh my God. You guys saw me. Last 2 days was kind of annoying, the price action ranges. Today was the moment we got some good action. I was like really on the offensive. Hello, guys. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys made some money today. And more importantly, you guys can, today's session is the perfect example of why I said that you guys can't marry into one side or the other, right? Market open, market sold a little bit, okay? And if you guys caught shorts, you could have made some money. But then market ripped from there, longs made money, right? And then what happened? They ripped it again, the other side, right? So you would have been caught on the wrong side. These are the kinds of days that traders blow money and lose their accounts because they commit too early into one side, and then even if they switch sides, right, then they commit to that side and then they get switched again. Okay, so very, very careful. You got to be very careful with your entries, exits, and stops, and be ruthless with that. As long as you follow your stops 5, 10%, whatever, the 10, 15%, even 15%, right, you'll be fine. The moment you let it go out of control, average down, do all of that, you are going to get into trouble. Okay, Right, we got like 100 plus people here. Like the stream, guys. Hit the subscribe button. We'll get started right now. Okay. So first thing, I'm going to go into SPY, guys. I'm going to go to the hourly chart. You know my charts are like has too many levels here, but I'll show you what's happening. Okay. Now, this past few days, this is what this is the last week's session. Okay, so last week we were rallying, right? Pretty much uptrending the whole move. We reclaimed supply. Very nice move. We've caught pretty much all the bottoms in throughout all the uptrending moves. You can see all these green boxes here. These are all our entries. Okay, there's another entry here. This is the same box where we caught entry last Thursday. I signaled this on live and Honey Drip as well, right? Then we popped here. Friday's session was a chop fest, right? We basically dropped back to the same box here and then popped a little bit in literally end of the day, okay? And then this week's Monday session was probably the most horrible session. Look at this range here, up, down, up, down, up, down. But the 643.50 area, again, we caught a reject there. I think we did 30% on 1DTE, right? 643.50, I signaled this also. And we sold into this. But again, it was a range session, so we trailed out of that. And today's session, market opened here. Now, I don't do anything crazy. We have, you see these wicks down here, right? These wicks down here, market opened straight into the supply, 643.50. If you guys were on live today, I'll go to the 5-minute chart here, okay? This is the open today, okay? So market opened somewhere around here. We popped right into the 643.30 share pre-market high and we started selling, okay? Now what we did over here, we dipped under the 2 previous days low here, all right? And then we tapped back up here, okay? Now this is where we came back up here to 643.50 and again we sold it. I think this is when Mike signaled his entry also, right? Mike signaled, I think QQQ puts, he signaled his entry here. But if you guys like know the way I trade, right? I was watching a few things. I was watching Apple, I was watching Tesla, I was watching SPY, right? Now the first thing I was saying is obviously there was a relative weakness in tech, right? But there were a few names that were strong. And the first time when we rejected this 643.50 area, right? Now, this is above the first candle high. We were selling off, but there was not a lot of selling in the dip. Now, what I wanted to see, and you guys heard me say this on live, I said that I wanted to see this below here, and I wanted to see 643.20-ish area hold, right? Now, why did I say that? Because this is slightly under pre-market area, right? You can see where we wicked here. Now, I wanted to see this area hold here, and I already got in my position. Now, I said, guys, I want to see this candle starting to reclaim VWAP, and once it does, we can define risk, add our position, whatever it is, and move along, okay? Now, this is the candle that gave us that confirmation. The moment we held this level and started turning green, I said, guys, this is it, and we started ripping here. Now, 0 DTs moved like crack today. If you guys were trading zeros, it was like amazing. 1 DT is actually did 60%, which is crazy, right? And we entered here, we popped back into this high here, had a little bit of a retest, swing low, whatever you want to call it, and then this one candle absolutely obliterated anyone that was shorting in this area. Now, I did think, truth be told, I thought that we would go a little higher, maybe into 645, make a longs commit then, commit a little bit more, and then rip it back down, right? And then we sell off. Now, I thought that's what's going to happen, but sometimes you expect something and sometimes it just doesn't happen, right? Instead, what did they do? They just consolidated here for half an hour and they just sold back here. Now, 643.20, we trailed out here. I think runners I sold around 30% green, right? Around this area. Because our entry was here, we still sold here, right? I didn't want us to lose the 643.50 to be, if I'm really honest, right? Because if we lose this, then we're back into the thing. Whoever longed here at the highs, that means that they're like are having stopping out, right? They're not taking. Again, shorts are under no pressure. The problem is we don't have enough of a short built up here. Most of the shots are higher. Longs were chasing under more pressure. So the moment we sold, we came back down here to the 640 to 670, which is again this area here, pre-market area. We popped back into this area, 643.50. We couldn't reclaim this area. This was our short trigger. Okay. Now I personally didn't short right here The moment we lost 643, that's when I shorted and I had a 50-cent risk here. Okay, this is I didn't signal this trade. I had to give you guys the idea on live, but then immediately we dropped back down. This was actually more easier for me to hold than the opening trade because it just straight away moved away from my entry, right? And we came back down here. Again, the moment we broke low of day, again, I thought there could be a liquidity grab, which is why I took profit. And then when we popped back here to 642 area, I'll just extend this green box here. Okay, so I just used this green box here as my risk here. I entered a little bit. I didn't enter too much size here. I put more size here. This area, I didn't enter too much size. Again, it was super easy. Came back down here. Now, this is an area I actually went long from the 640 as risk here because I thought there would be a dead cat, and that's exactly what I got. Came back up here. Again, same area. 640, 150, 642 risk here. I shorted again. Before it broke 640, I took profit and called it a day. All right. Now, you know what I thought would happen, honestly? The moment we broke 640, I thought that they were going to bag maybe like $3 or $4 drop, and then maybe end of that they would do a reclaim if tech bounces. But instead, what did they do? They just chopped the rest of the day. 640, 638.50, I think is an SPX level or something like that. And they just kept chopping. End of there, they reclaimed 640 here, right? So, SPY dropped a whole 0.5%. That's it. For all the drama, look at this, tech. Most tech names sold. Nvidia sold, Avgo sold, AMD sold a little. Nvidia, we've been trying to short this like all week, right? Since what was the highs? 184, 183. How many times? I was trading shorts on Nvidia like a crack addict. Today, it was selling a lot more cleaner. PLTR sold here, Oracle sold. These are all growth names that have been ripping lately. Tesla actually had a very strong open, but it didn't sell as much as others. But obviously, when market started selling, Tesla sold. Meta sold 2% here. It's been this is the day 2 selling here. Maybe tomorrow there'll be a reversal on Meta. I'll probably trade that. Netflix sold 2%, but every other sector is bouncing in green. Okay. Now I will tell you one thing about selling. Okay. Now pay attention. This is probably good information for you guys. All right. If there's a real panic selling in the market, okay, the selling will be uniform across the board. All right. Now, if that's not happening, that doesn't mean that there's not selling. Okay, there's some rotation happening. To this true tops, when they happen, everything will sell regardless of what instrument it is. You'll see crypto selling, you'll see bullshit selling, you'll see any meme selling, everything you touch will be selling because everyone's hunting for exits. Okay, that hasn't happened. Even at the market open, you saw a lot of names still buying and holding. Like they wanted me to go into Apple. Apple actually did 70% or something. That is the next. I'll cover that trade next. Okay, look at this here. This was the opening this is the pre-market candle. Opening candle was red. The moment this candle took this 231. Now, this is the thing. They're buying Apple at the open. You know, the QQQ was did red tick, but Apple was ticking green, and so was Tesla. Right? They were not going to really get this big move. I don't know how much they did. I think they did like 70-80% or something like that. It was a crazy move from 231 a share underpriced contracts. It went to like 233. Okay. Now, Apple on the day did not drop at all, right? It's still kind of back to the opening pre-market range here, all right? So tomorrow, if we start taking green, this could potentially be a trade about 232, okay? Again, I'm watching that. I'll let you guys know if I take it. But we didn't sell a lot. I mean, this is why I was so confused. If you guys saw my Instagram story, I was kind of very disappointed that we didn't actually capitulate. Because if we did, tomorrow we could have been done easy. We could have just taken an opening reject and be done with it. But we didn't. And today everyone thinks market topping. I will go to Twitter. This is the thing. Sometimes I look for certain opinions to see what everyone's saying. And I see the same thing, people calling tops and all of that. It's just like, I don't like seeing those things. Okay? And it's like my indicator that, okay, I need to be careful tomorrow. Because as much as I love the easy top calling, bottom calling, it's just it's not going to be too obvious, right? This is why I hate like ranges. When ranges happen, everyone gets cocky because the same levels start working, and people kind of think that I just got to stop short tops, short bottoms, and it's not going to be that simple. So tomorrow we got to be very careful because markets still, most of these names are still back in inside ranges, and some of these names like Meta, like I said, market needs Meta. Okay, Meta has sold off considerably since 800, 797, whatever, $50 drop. Tomorrow we get a little wick above 755, which is the level. We are combined obviously with other bounces in the market. We are going to see a reclaim maybe. Okay. Now tomorrow, if they somehow take the 642 area, which is where I entered SPY today, we could potentially see a squeeze back into 644, 645. And 645 breaks, we can indeed see a squeeze. All right. Again, not going into tomorrow's session with anything crazy bias or anything like that. Today we made some easy money, but I kind of wish we sold off more because that would have made our session tomorrow easier. Now it's going to be tricky, right? We're going to go in with a mixed mindset. At least I'm going to be going with a mixed mindset. I don't know, actually, I don't think I'll even like trade with crazy size tomorrow. I think I don't want to give up today's gains at all. Today I made good money. Tomorrow it's more of a watch and see how what they do. Okay. Yes, Jackson Hole will definitely 100% affect price action. The market open. Okay, let's talk about that. Someone bought that point here. So tomorrow we have FOMC minutes 2 p.m. I don't know what the fuck that's gonna entail. We'll see what happens. 2 p.m. I'll be long bit done by trading by then. There's some Fed members speaking. Don't really care. We'll see whatever happens. I'll be done before then. Thursday, jobless claims, PMI, home sales, economic indicators, Bostic speaking at the open. Okay, this is kind of important. Okay, jobless claims will be important, especially leading to next month's FOMC and everything. So yeah, this is important. Okay, Wednesday is whatever, but Thursday is important. Friday very very important. Jackson Hole. I don't know if you guys have traded Jackson Hole. It's a shit show. It can happen. Like lot of things happen. I remember it's always like chaotic. Usually SPY moves plus or minus $5+ during that time. So Friday 0 DT day. While we're stuck in range consolidating, if this range still is intact by Friday, right, it's going to be a crazy Friday. Okay, spooky Friday. So we got to be, I don't know, let's see, Friday's like so far away, but this is this thing that we have this week. Okay, I don't know what else is happening after hours today, but today let me go over Apple. I think I did Apple already. What is the other one? Tesla was pretty super nice. Honestly, I was kind of thinking that, man, I should have signaled Apple, but I don't regret signaling SPY because you guys saw that the risk was literally like 5%, and you were able to add size on the trade. Apple, give or take, while QQQ selling, I just didn't know if I could keep that risk right at the open. Now, Tesla, on the other hand, I took Tesla longs, Apple longs, same time I did SPY longs. Tesla, my entry was the best entry today. I just did it at the 334 reclaim. You guys saw my story, right? The same area. Yesterday I longed it around here, this area here around 331, 330, and today over here I got it here. It was a very nice move. Filthy, it's a failure though. But this is the reason that this 340 level is big, right? Now the moment they started selling and QQQ started selling, everyone that was long Tesla just like completely like just sell, right? This explains clearly how the mindset is for anyone that's like trading Tesla, chasing longs, right? Everyone was probably doing what I was saying, right? Sell quickly, don't overhold place, right? If the market was really like super committed to buying right today, you wouldn't have these kind of like quick exits. Everyone quick exits here, boom. Actually replayed this trade, like what happened here, and it's just insane, right? Everyone quick sold, wave app broke, boom, quick sells. Range is not crazy, it's a the $2 range here, but everyone quick sold, immediate flush of lows, retest, failure, right? This I'm sure a lot of people, if you're a short bias, you could have made a lot of money on this. A long bias, you could have made it here, but if you chased above this like the opening range and shit like that, you had to be quick about taking profits, right? Let me extend this box here. Look at this. Basically same setup as SPY. The moment it failed, right? The moment it lost this area, this one here, right? Quick sells, VWAP here. Quick sells, came back, retest here, boom. Okay. Now tomorrow, I don't know what Tesla entire market's going to do, but this 327 level is big. Okay, 327 loses, we can easily drop back down to the previous zone area here. Let me just zoom out so you guys can see it. So this is the previous area here that I have, right? So it's 327, 324, right? This is the potential bounce. If we lose that, then there is another level here. That's it. We are going to come back down to 316. 316 loses the bigger zone here, right? Now I don't know what's going to happen or not, but any long position you need above this red box here now, okay? Because sellers are anyone that bought here above these highs are trapped. I don't think they were trapped because everyone looked like they stopped out, but if this is where they are, so we need to get above this for any kind of squeezy action. Again, it all depends on what market does, okay? If you guys are joining in, guys, hit the like button, guys, hit the subscribe button. I will answer questions soon. Tesla calls and puts. Yeah, I didn't catch puts on Tesla. I only caught puts on SPY, but I did catch Tesla. The way I traded today, I put in a little bit of risk on both Tesla and Apple at the beginning. Once I was green on both those trades, I scaled out very quickly. I was only holding like 5-10 runners on like both, right? And then I switched focus to SPY. The reason I signaled SPY for the chat and I committed more risk there was because obviously it's easier to maintain stops on SPY, and it was also very risk manageable, right? So the moment I saw that this was holding, I was just like, okay, I'm going to just enter this trade here, maintain 30-cent risk, and spreads were great. I did zeros, I did 1DTs. The moment it broke highs, I was able to take trims and then move trailing stops. These are the best trades. You won't get trailed out. Your best entries are here, and my stop out was here, right? So even runners, I was able to exit like 30% green or something like that on 1DTs, right? And pretty much just scalp zeros all the way down throughout the reversal, right? I love this kind of entries because I don't have to get stopped out. Like look at this yesterday. I shorted here, and I came back down and then popped back again, up, down, up, down. Oh my God, this is so bad action. This is so bad action. But really trying to make something happen out of nothing yesterday. 130% rain and I think 1.6% loss, 1.10% loss or something like that yesterday. It was annoying as hell. So yeah, that's SPY, guys. Again, it could have sold more if a lot of the other sectors sold with it, but every other sector is at demand bouncing. And if you get a financial sector bounce or one of the Meta joins the party, we're gonna see SPY higher. Unfortunately, the only thing I'm kind of like hoping for is some kind of catalyst. If we get some kind of catalyst and we gap down, then we have rejects place. We can take rejects. But if you kind of open flat or if you open green and somehow we take that 642, this is the box that we got to reclaim, by the way. Okay, we got to get back in this range, right? We got to get back in this range. Shots are under pressure again. All right. So 640 we tested a couple of times here. After hours, look at the 640 rejected once, twice, thrice. So 640 reclaims again. That's a long trigger. It's too obvious, so I wouldn't take that there. We needed to go up here. Okay, we needed to get up. This was 640, 150, 642. But if we do that, then there is a play. Okay. I don't know what will happen. Again, if I'm really confident, I'll tell you this is what's going to happen and whatnot. And this was the scenario I thought would happen today, but I thought we'll sell more, and that didn't happen. So tomorrow we'll have to be cautious. Okay. Thank you, Ryan. What else? What else? Is there anything else you guys want to see? Nvidia, maybe? Nvidia. I mean, pretty much tech sold. I mean, they tried to hold it here, this 177.60. I took a little long here, but it was just a scalp. I think I made like 15% and I sold. I was just making like $200, $300 cash flows. And moment it lost, again, they got a retest downside. I didn't take downside on this, but tomorrow, again, if you want any kind of upside, you need to get above this 178 area. So if you're looking for longs, watch for a reclaim of 178, which is, you guys can see, previous range. I don't know about Nvidia tomorrow. We'll see. I've been watching shorts all this time, so I'm not going to go, the moment it started still, I'm not going to go take long on this because this is this looks super trappy. Okay, I think we'll see a little lower before higher. I honestly want to see lower. To be honest, I want to see market like sell a little bit more deeper, and then we get a relief, because it's kind of going to be annoying if we get back to that high. And anytime the market goes high, it's going to be a short squeeze. It's not going to be like actual buying volume. Okay. All right, let's look at some questions for now, and then I'll look at more charts. All right, let's look at some questions here. I'll look at charts. Any other questions, guys? Today's session execution. Any question on the market today? I'll look at PLTR. Yes, of course. PLTR, UNH. I'll look at all of that. How do you get your red and green? I just draw it, man. Just for visual purposes. The thing is, I have a lot of levels like this, right? Like it looks like I understand my levels, but if I show it to you guys like, I mean, visual purposes, you guys don't like it, right? It looks chaotic, but it's not. The reason I'll tell you that the reason I have so many levels is because if I sometimes I'll see a buyer or seller at the tape, I'll see something happening, and that'll be of interest to me, right? And so the way it goes, I don't know if you're my mentee, you'll probably know this, but if there is a key area of interest in the tape, right? So what I'll do is I will see how it plays out, and based on how it plays out, I'll mark that as a level, and whether it goes in one way or the other way, I'll use that as my bias if I'm scalping, okay? And some of those levels are going to end up being super important, right? And this is exactly why I said that 643.20. I mean 643.25, 30. Today I said that that's going to not 643, 642. I'm going to long it here if it holds, guys. How did I say that quickly, right? Because the moment it reclaims, you'll see certain things happen, okay? And that's why I format those plot those levels. It may not make sense to you, but that's why I have so many levels in my chart. Are you going to get us that setup video? I will, man. I will release that. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at this, man. I'm so bad at this social media stuff. Me doing this alone is a lot, right? You can either be a content creator or a trader. I feel like I am trying my best. Okay, I will do that. I mean, my chart is not even all that, man. Look at my charts. Like I don't even know. There's nothing crazy about it. I have VWAP. I have EMAs, moving average, clouds, and pretty much levels. That's it. Like literally nothing. If you want like pretty charts, you have like you can. There's a lot of TikTok influencers that post videos. You can just look at them. But I will give you my setup video though. I have it in the backlog. It has to be done. All right. This content creating shit is just like I just like get cringed out. It's just annoying. Ask me trading stuff. I got you. Okay. All right. Let's look at some charts. I will look at everyone's favorite PLTR. Very nice looking chart. Look at this perfect retest 178 here. This is last Friday, and honestly, this time around trend flip worked. Look at this, dude. This thing honestly trades super well. I've been like watching it, you guys, because of your guys' question. I've been watching it a lot. People, it's such a nice stock because people always like think this is the thing. Look at where it was. Like the last time we talked about it, Stock Tuesday, like this is where it was. Oh no, this is market crash. This thing just popped into demand, consolidated, retested, reclaimed, reclaimed, popped back here again, double top. Everyone's like calling top again, right? And then clean reclaim, and then beautiful trend. Every time we popped into a clean area, we reversed, right? But this is one of those names. When there's momentum, don't fight it. Okay, so like there's there is obviously the stock is not just moving because of shorts, because obviously people are buying, right? The stock was $10, right? Clearly it's dropped. People who miss the thing, this is the thing. You can say it's overvalued, undervalued, and all of that, right? But if you're day trading, just follow levels, right? And this is following levels. Now, what I like about this stock is, right? When there is momentum, clean upside move. When there's momentum, clean downside move, right? Everyone that fights momentum absolutely gets destroyed, right? Look at this. If you try shorting here, destroyed. If you tried longing here, destroyed. This is the kind of move that goes well with the saying, if it's going to go, it will go, right? Perfect. Now, eventually, this will bottom out. We are coming here. This zone here is coming in here. I don't know if this is going to get tested tomorrow or not, but you'll see, right? So if it has to do one of the reclaims. So this level gets reclaimed. Again, you wait for one candle flip on this, and then they'll create another base here. Okay. So the level I have is here 161. So if 161 breaks, maybe it reclaims this 164 or something like that. Then you retest, on the retest you can see 161 holds. I don't know if that makes sense. I'll just draw it for you guys, okay? So let's say tomorrow they reverse it, right? And then they do this, okay? They do this and then do that, okay? This is what you want to do. Don't take it on the first time. Wait for this to go up even higher. And then when it sells off, try to see if 161, 160 holds, and then go take the reversal, right? But if it just drops here, again, let it flush. Let it flush this level, and then on the reclaim take it, okay? So obviously this is sold off a lot, right? So tomorrow if it opens right back into supply, a reject probably will work, right? But be careful, okay? This is just like Meta. You want to trade with the momentum. Don't go trying to call top fighting momentum, because every trader that trades obviously based on like levels and stuff like that will be doing that, right? This is why retail gets trapped in position. Now every retail trader that is fighting momentum, yes sir, if you try to long PLTR today or yesterday when the momentum is building, you would have become exit liquidity. Similarly, when PLTR is breaking out and rallying, if you were like shorting it, you would have like gotten burned, okay? Just be careful, okay? But I am liking the sticker a lot. If this thing does trade well, maybe we can day trade it too. I am going to look into it. I just like don't care enough to buy this, but let's see. I will look into this more because the volume is really good, right? I was like watching this thing since 125. The volume is really good. This can potentially be a name we can trade, okay? Why is tech weak today? Tech is just correcting, man. Look at Meta, for example. Meta, um, big move up. We just tested 800. What is the high? 796. We caught this move. I don't know if you guys remember this. This was like last week. I called this move. Big move into supply here. Came back down. Liquidity grab. Popped up again. Double top. Fell. I think there was some catalyst here. And then we dropped again. Like again today, entire market. So, right now, today I was telling you guys, market's not going to squeeze if Meta doesn't participate, and Meta never participated. Okay, so no matter what text, I don't know how what you guys use for your own correlation and whatnot, but for me, they need to buy Meta. Okay, so Meta they did not buy at all, especially considering we had a sell-off day yesterday, right? For me to be long today, they had to take 767, 768 on Meta, and they didn't even try. They just sold the open. And then around 760, 750 around area, they tried a reclaim of 755, that didn't happen. I sold. So tomorrow for me they have to invert this. They got to get above 755 here. If they do, we could potentially make a run up to 765 again, 770. But like I said, tomorrow I'm not going to go in with any bias. I want to see more selling in the market. I want to see extended selling. All across the board, all sectors. If that doesn't happen, I'll most likely take reclaim trades on the long side. Okay, this is I want to see it on the tape. I want to see if they're buying or selling at the open, and then I'll make my decision. I don't know what's going to happen because clearly they sold today, but it wasn't convincing enough. Will there be trying again tomorrow? If they are, then yeah, sure, we could potentially take more breakdown setups on other names or rejects. But if they start buying again tomorrow, and especially if SPY opens around 640 plus, it's just $2 away from a squeeze. One big stock like Meta bounces or Nvidia bounces, boom. For 642 triggers, they get shaky. They say 643 again, 643.50 again, they're shaky. That's it, squeeze. Okay. QQQ buyback. I mean, QQQ is obviously QQQ. The reason QQQ is selling, you guys can see this. Big names are selling. Meta is selling. Nvidia is selling. Right, that's why you see a much more bigger drop in QQQ. Honestly, this is not even significant. Look at $7 drop. Like, look at this move here. I'll just draw a quick fib here. Look at this. This was the initial move on QQQ, right? For the pocket here. Tomorrow, let's say they popped it around the golden pocket area and reverse it. Like, this is very possible. Okay, QQQ does move like that because it's full tech concentrated, and tech names are super volatile compared to the other names. Okay, that's why QQQ always moves a lot more than SPY. Now the reason I don't trade QQQ more is because I don't want that how do I say it, the too much of concentration in one sector, right? I want SPY, I want to see cleaner action, I want to see overall market gauge. So today that's why I was able to get that long bias flip also at the open, because if I was just watching tech, I could have shorted, but the bigger return and potential squeezy move was like after that, right? I mean, you could have made money all different ways. At the open, like Mike caught a shot, you could have made money on that as well. But the difference is this: if you caught like a shot at the open, right? Now, what I was seeing parallelly, I'll just show you this, okay? And what I was seeing parallelly, look at this, right? There is no way in hell I would have been able to short with conviction while I was seeing the kind of strength in Apple. Does that make sense, guys? Put a yes if you understand this, okay? So I was watching Apple, I was watching Tesla, right? Now I can see that QQQ is weaker, opening candle was weak, retest of pre-market low, this is a 576 level big, but how can I put big size on this trade when I'm seeing what I'm seeing in Apple and Tesla and many other names, right? At the open, this was, I mean, you could have made money, but it was like not a easy trade for me personally to put size on, okay? So that's why I waited. Now, if I do SPY also parallelly, right? Now, I wanted to see inversion. So SPY, QQQ sold, so the first candle was a sell, and then we got a reclaim, right? Reclaim back to high, and then a retest and hold. Now, this is a trade that I see hold. Apple is holding, Tesla is holding, many of the sectors are other also green. So this is a trade that I can say, hey, overall market strength is there. Just because one or two tech names are selling, that doesn't, it's not going to crash the market. Okay. So I was able to see a hold and see that my risk is like 5-6% and say, hey, I'm going to come up with a rule saying I will hold this trade as long as 640 to 30 holds. And I see the candle hold. Okay, let's put on size. Let's see if this goes. And today volatility was good. The trade moved against us. Over here we were like up 30%, and over here we were up like 60% on 1DTs. Okay, so for me to take any indices trade, this is why I trade SPY versus QQQ, because I want to see overall market collision, right? Now if I trade like just the Nasdaq, like the thing is Nasdaq, QQQ will move better than SPY, right? QQQ will move better than SPY. Like if you take, have you guys seen percentages wise? If you take like QQQ 1DT or 0DTE, and let's say you get a bigger move, right? You will actually make more percentage wise on your QQQ trade than SPY, right? But the opposite is also true. If you nail something bad, you will lose a lot more also. Okay, so this is the thing. I can't maintain tight risk like that, like how I do on SPY and QQQ. Number two, I want to see overall market participate for strength weakness. So that's the reason I do SPY. All right. Someone asked me this question the other day, Andra, why don't you trade QQQ? Why don't you, like watch the Dow, ES, NQ and all of that? That's the reason, okay? Because I want to see overall market participation and tape, and I want to see that, okay? Um, but again, it's a cake. You can slice a cake whichever way you want. You can eat it whatever you want. The goal is to just make money. You trade long, you trade short, you choose SPY or PLTR or Apple or Microsoft or Meta, none of it matters. Just make money, follow stop losses, and you'll be fine. I have a method to my craziness. I rely on Meta, I rely on Nvidia, I rely on SPY, I look at Apple, but it's just what works for me. It doesn't mean what you do doesn't work for you, okay? You can do you, I can do me. Goal is to make money. There's plenty of money to be made. When do you tell yourself I'm going to add size to this trade? When I see the market do what I want to happen, right? So today I wanted to see a wick here, and I told you guys, I'm adding starters here. I don't want to miss out, and I said, guys, if I see a wick here and reclaim of VWAP, I'll add to my position, and I see it play out exactly, and I did. And Apple also, it also helped me because Apple did what I wanted to do, Tesla did what I wanted to do. So when I was looking at SPY, I was like infinitely more confident that my read was right. Yesterday, compared that to yesterday, my short worked, right? Initially I took a short, I think it was here or something like that, and then actually I took a long here, right? And then I got scared, and then I sold my long for like a 2 or 3% loss, and then that thing did 20%, and then I wanted to take it short, and then this thing failed, and I took a short here, and this thing did like 30% on 1DTE, and then this candle immediately went back up here. Now I thought that this was going to be like a squeezy move. Okay, so this is where I longed it today. So I said, okay, let me buy calls. Next candle they dropped it again, right? So this is like I was just caught in a chop. It's not like the read was better. You had to short supply and buy demand. They just pinned it the whole day. But today they were not going to do that with a lot of names moving. Okay, what else questions? look at UNH. What is a good way to size up? Win a lot, add a lot of buy yourself that luxury. Adding size is a luxury, right? If you're losing a lot, you can't add size because you're not going to have the confidence to do so. Take as many wins as you can, build a proper system, follow stop losses, be disciplined over a period of time. Be disciplined for like 3 months, 6 months consistently making money. You don't have to ask me this question. You'll know when you can add size. If you feel confident, if you feel like you've been doing good, you'll do it on your own, right? And this is the thing. Today, coming into the session, I wanted to get some cash in my belt because I literally I don't know if I told you guys. Yesterday, I only made like 4K on the day. Like I was like battling out yesterday for nothing. I was just like, dude, like I got so frustrated yesterday. Right? I was like, every trade I did, I took like a few losses also yesterday. I was like, dude, like what the fuck? And I got like super mad. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Every trade I did was like a long at the bottom and short at the top. It wasn't worth it, right? So I didn't have a lot of cushion coming into today's session. So that's why I had to make some money, quick money off of my Tesla and then my what is the other one? Apple. And then once I was up good green, and then I took a very nice spy long. Then I was good on the day. Then I could go on the offensive and take those short trades to make money. End of the day, I caught like a little long here as well. And then before I could over trade, I called it a day. And I was kind of like, maybe I was having a little FOMO, thinking that, man, what if I call and then SPY drops to 630? It didn't. They didn't do that at all, and that's what surprised me. And they just closed about 640. So tomorrow, got to be very careful, especially going into the session with a bias. We can end badly. Okay, let's look at UNH. UNH fan favorite. What is happening here? You know that they got that Buffett news. This was popping. Oh yeah, I mean, I told you guys we did this reclaim, and it. I think the last time someone asked me, the 250 reclaim was good. The moment we reclaimed this previous low, this started creating an inversion position. This was, I think, last Monday. I covered it in our last stock Tuesday, and then we just popped. I think this is when the Buffett news dropped. No, but all we did was just pop into previous supply here. Okay, this 300 pop could be a trap also. Until we break and clear this area here, it's going to be. It could happen. Whatever happened to Tesla today on an intraday level could happen to this thing as well. Okay, so they lose this 300 again. We're going to drop to 286. 286 loses 273. 270 they lose 260. Okay, now for longs, you want to see this green box hold. At least the swing hold here, swing structure hold, maybe 286 also hold. Maybe even if you see a 286 pullback, you want to see a, let me draw this for you guys. So if you're a long, you want to see this happen, and then maybe this, and then like that, okay? But if this thing doesn't play out, right? If this thing doesn't play out, you could see this happen, and then come back down here, right? So these are the two scenarios here. Like again, I don't have a position in this. The reason I explained this before, if the stock used to be 630 plus, okay? If this thing was really a dip buying opportunity and whatnot, they wouldn't have like let it drop this much, okay? Obviously, there's negative news, and the fact that they consolidated here since May, now it's August, end of August, okay? Something is up. I personally think there's going to be negative headlines coming in, and when that happens, we'll know. So for those reasons, I don't like these kinds of things. I don't like big crashes. I've seen this. Have you guys seen like any other name, PLTR? Like see like any name, like big name, Beyond Meat, right? They'll always like drop big and make it look like it was some kind of big value name, and then eventually more bad news will drop, and then it'll shit the bed. Look at Alibaba, right? Baba earnings, balance sheet. They'll talk about all of that, but it was clearly undervalued, but why didn't everyone rush to the front lines to buy that, right? Let me open Baba for you guys. Sure. Right. Baba death trap 200. I remember that shot 200 when it lost it. Look at this. Going to the weekly on Baba. Look at this. Baba is still undervalued. Like when this thing broke 200 here, I remember this was like one of my biggest trades. 200, never look back. Never look back. It's just consolidating, and then when we lost it, it was like it's just insane, right? 200, when did it lose? 21. It was like 4 years ago, right? You think Baba hasn't grown in like 4 years? Why haven't we seen this, right? Why haven't we, when Amazon's trading at such a high multiple, why can't this, right? So obviously something is up. Maybe it'll, obviously due to China relation, but something is up, right? So look at this. If people who are saying this is a very good long-term buy, and let's say they were buying it here 4 years ago, those guys have basically, right now it's trading at $100, right? They're like, they're lost, right? And now 2022, they said, oh my God, it's trading at $80. Let me put all of my money in Baba. This thing basically is up like 20-30% since then, right? Actually, if you put your money in anything else, you could have made money, all right? Same thing. What is that BA? Look at that BA. Now BA, I don't know if you guys remember this crash happened like long time ago. It feels like a long time ago. I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. 400 or something it was trading. Right, where is BA? Did BA do a split or something? 2020, was it 2018? When did it happen? I don't forget. Okay, maybe it didn't. Here, maybe I think they did a split or something. I don't know. I remember BA trading at 400. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, it was. Yeah, here it is. 450. Yeah, okay. It's like, yeah, here it is. So it was trading at 450, and they have been. Well, they had one big crash. This BA is the perfect example of UNH. Like what I'm. This is why I stay away from names like UNH, right? People were saying, "Oh man, it's a crash. They'll get rid of it. Whatever it is, they'll fix it." That was when was that? So long ago. They still haven't done shit. Still been like hovering up, down, liquidity moves. Nothing's happening. Okay. Now again, just because this happened to like BA and Baba doesn't mean it has to happen to UNH. I'm just explaining to you why I am not in UNH. Okay. Correlation does not mean causation. Okay. I don't like these kinds of names where big moves happen on news and then me putting my head down and saying that I want to buy the dip. Income statement, balance sheet, and all that shit matters. If company is actually solid and healthy, it'll substantially grow. When news comes in, income statement of the past doesn't mean future performance, if that makes sense, right? In the past, they might have made money, right? But obviously, something is out there that no one is looking at that is going to impact their future earnings. Okay? Does that make sense, guys? Put a yes if you understand that, right? Income statement, balance sheet, and all that, it's public information. You can go watch that. Just explains how they made their money, why they made their money, and how much they made their money. That doesn't mean they're going to make money the next 10 years. Okay? So this is even if you're watching fundamentals and all of that, like remember that news trumps everything. Okay? News is creating a new narrative, a new outlook. Okay? Every market is always forward looking. If market's not looking and say, hey, they made this much money in the past, so they have to be valued there. Nothing like that, right? If anything can affect it. Why is Nvidia keep ripping? Why did PLTR rip, right? Forward looking, okay? Now, I'm day trading most of the time, so I don't care, but I do have my own long term and everything, but I would not add something that has like a big ripple effect like that, okay? So be careful on that. All right, let's look at Lulu. Okay, Lulu. I think Lulu dropped on some news, right? They did. I actually like this in this area, 190 area, for a technical long, but looks like they're dropping again. Look at this. This was an area where they could have long, they didn't, came back down here, and now they came back here. So ideally you want to see this level, take it again. Okay. So if you're going long, you want to take this down. Again, this is a chart that looks pretty ominous. I think someone asked me, but I think at that time we had some swing or something like that, right? This is a scenario that can happen. No longer the case because we have broken down. So what can happen now? We want to see it reclaim this 205. All right. So if 205 reclaims, we can go to the next level, 219, 234, 253. But if they come down and take this, we could see a new low. Okay. If you're long term, again, Lulu is a retail name. I think the reason they're selling is because a lot of names are providing more competition now. Plus, the new tariffs and everything is adding a lot more challenges for their industry. Okay, but give or take, you are going to see a bounce eventually. It will bottom out. Let's look at Nike, for example. Okay, I want to quickly see something. Okay, Nike had the same kind of move. if I zoom out a little, right, look at this. It used to be trading pretty much here. Okay, it's had a big sell-off, almost went half down, actually more than half, right, from 50 now it's popping back to 80. Okay, so Nike, the buy area is going to be around the 60-65 areas. If you get a retest on this, you can buy. This is something I did add. I have to go check my long term again, see how much I'm up, but this is something I did add here in this area. It's going well so far, but I have to probably take trims on this. So it looks like technical areas come in. Maybe let's employ some trail stops here around 72, 70, 71 or something like that. But looks good here for now. Okay, so the same kind of the move can happen to Lulu, but it's not going to be the ultimate bottom or anything like that, because this was crazy overvalued. Look at this, right? It used to be trading over here, then we dropped from 500, we dropped to 200 before we get a dead cat bounce, double percent, and now we back down here. Okay, looks like Baba to me. Does it look like Baba to you guys? Baba trading big, drop down, big pop, down, up, down. Looks like a big head and shoulder kind of position. And now we're back down here. So if we do reclaim of 206, we can prop back here. But looks like every time we pop, we're popping a little less. Okay, and I don't know. I have to look into this. Honestly, I don't have a position in Lulu, so I don't really know exactly why they're selling. Michael Burry's firm bought 50,000 shares worth. Oh man, I don't think that guy's been right in a while. So maybe your longs will work. The guys are long. That's the news. Guys, there are about 200 of you here. Please hit the like button on the stream. Let's look at MSTR. All right. Wow. Wow. Yeah, BTC chart itself looked like super toppy to me, but at least interim top. Yeah, we should bounce soon. If we don't, we could get panic here. Okay, this area, this is a pretty important area here. Okay. It's going to be interesting. I wouldn't buy a dip on Monster until I see like crypto bouncing. Okay, they have severe. They really have a lot of vested interest on Bitcoin holding, and the lower it goes, the more pressure it adds. I can't believe like this 360 didn't hold here. Okay. Microsoft. Next, I'll look at LLY. I know you guys want me to look at LLY. Any upside play, I want to see it. I think it looks bearish. This looks bearish for now. This looks bearish for now. I would wait until at least 1 4-hour reclaim. Same thing I would do for Meta, I told you, right? So you want to see it take out this 1 4-hour candle, go a little higher, maybe form a base around here, and then go like that. Okay, mid-draw level for you. So something like this, right? This is what needs to happen. You can see there's a retest area here, right? So this is where a green box would happen. Once it does a reclaim, you want to use this as a base. Microsoft is another name. Don't go trying to buy the dip before a base forms. It's a $500 name. There are no buyers. Obviously, trend flipped on this. QQQ, a lot of QQQ names, their trends already flipped. This is why I was trying to short Nvidia all that time. I ended up being the top. Look at Nvidia. This is exactly where I was trying to short. You can see red boxes here, right? This is exactly like ended up being the top on Nvidia. Kept shorting this. People are calling me like crazy. Oh, Andra, why you keep shorting Nvidia? I mean, clearly you can see why, right? Leading indicators to the market, big names always, and this is exactly why I didn't try to long Meta also, because it just kept failing. They're not going to see buys. But the moment you will see a reversal on all these names, that's when you'll know there's going to be a sign of reversal in the market. What are your rules for getting in a trade? What EMAs do you use? I mean, EMAs I don't use for my entry, if I'm going to be completely honest for you. It's all about levels for me. I explained this before this thing live started, but let me use SPY today, for example. Okay, so the kind of trades I like are when levels hold. Okay, so I don't like reversion trades. First of all, let me tell you that if the market's trading in a range, right? Like for example, Friday and yesterday, for certain traders, right? Like if you're like coming in, range-based action can be can be good. Meaning, so people who buy short at resistance or buy at demand. Okay, but the reason I don't like those kinds of trades is because I want to buy into something and I'll try to get a swing low entry or swing high entry, and I want the stock to immediately move away from my entry, like how it did happen to SPY today. So because when it does, I'll just keep holding my position and I can keep trailing out as it goes. Okay, so today, for example, I actually didn't take a single trim until 643.50 broke. Okay, this candle when it broke, that's when I did my first trim on SPY. All right, now if there is a range, for example, like yesterday, I shot it here, this thing dropped, but the next candle it almost came back to my entry and it went red. Okay, so how can I hold my position? How can I get big wins? I don't like fucking 10% trades, 15% trades. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. If my risk is that, I don't want to make just that. I want to make big moves, right? I can't also be just trading 1 or 2 times a month, right? This is like my livelihood, right? I can't be like, hey, you know, like the influencers. Hey, market's trash. I'm just going to only come and trade the big trending days. I mean, if I did that, I mean, it's fine. Like, I mean, if you just got to lock in and put like insane amount of size and trade that one day. And I want to make cash every day. I don't think I can go a day without trading, to be honest. I have issues. I told you that. You guys know this already. I have issues. I got to trade every day. I'll keep trying as long as my levels hold. I'll take small losses, but when I win, I'll win big. This is my shit. That's how I trade. Okay? I can't only trade 2 trades a week. I can't do that. I mean, I've been trading for close to 12 years and I don't have the, the you know the kind of patience to only trade 1 trade a month or 2 trade a month. I'm an addict. I have issues. Okay, I have issues. And another reason I like that point. I feel like my personality in trading. I watch the tape a lot. I need to be involved in everything for me to be informed. Does that make sense, guys? It's like playing a sport. If you're playing any sport, if you've played any sport in your life, soccer, football, basketball, if you don't play, how are you going to stay sharp, right? You have to keep playing the game, right? I got to keep watching the tape. I need to know where the trap is. I need to know what they're trying to do. I need to know what market makers are up to, right? So for that, I need to participate. If I just like take 2 trades a day, 2 trades a week, then I won't know shit. Okay. And honestly, I'll give you guys this advice. If you're starting out, try to be involved every day. Okay. I get that less trades is better and everything, but put in the time every day, right? Put in the time every day. You don't have to trade a crack addict like if the price action's not good, especially if you're growing your account. Just trade proper setup, but be involved every day. Okay. If you just be casual and only like trade once a month, twice a month, you'll never improve as a trader. Okay. If you want to really like become like one of the best, and you gotta put in the time. Simple as that. Okay. Um, all right. What was the question? Let me look at that. First for entry rules, right? So the kind of trade I like is trending trades, right? The reason I explain this range example is because I want to see market move away from my entry, right? Now today I was kind of expecting a range break. Initially I thought that the range would break to the upside, but I really wanted them to go to above 645 and then fail. Okay, I knew they were going to do the downside move because of the way tech was selling, but I really did think that they were going to go to 645 and then flip 643. I didn't think they were just going to reject off of the previous day's size. That was too obvious of a move for me, right? I was not convinced they were going to do that, but then suddenly it happened. But once it happened, I was like, holy shit, okay. Sometimes market does throw in surprises, okay? And it just did it. And then what did it do? It didn't sell as much as I thought. Spice were barely down, and then tomorrow we're gonna see. Tomorrow we're gonna struggle. I don't know what's gonna happen. No EMAs for my entry. I want to see a level hold, level reclaim, and if it does hold, I'll have my entry, and I'll have my stop losses very close to my entry. If I'm right, my trade will immediately go in my favor. If it's going to go, it will go. That's why I say that, and I can move my trail stops along the way. If it doesn't, I'll take that small loss. I'll re-enter as many times as you guys have seen me trade Nvidia like last week when it was choppy. I'll take that trade. Like, well, how many entries did I do last Thursday? 3 entries, 4 entries I did. First trade I lost 10%. Second trade I made 30% with size. The third trade I made 20%, and the fourth trade I made 70% on Nvidia. Right? I kept trying until the lane the absolute top. Okay, and I traded the same levels. So as long as you follow levels, you have to follow both sides. When you're wrong, when you feel like it's invalidating, cut loss quickly. If you follow the stop losses and you have a proper entry system and strategy to trade, you are going to be profitable. I don't know how to repeat this. You guys see us trade, we post the spreadsheets and everything. We don't lose much at all. We lose maybe 10%, 15%. It's going to be like a few losses a week because we're trying, right? At least I'll take a few trades every day. I'll say call it no matter what. If you're taking a shot, you're going to miss a few, right? But if you don't take a shot, you're not going to make money. And when you win, you're going to win big when the market is especially good. And that's enough to be profitable. Don't keep averaging down on losing positions. Learn to accept when you're wrong. Be quick about it. And when you win, you'll win big. Okay? That is the key to entries and exits. It's nothing rocket science or whatnot. Just read the trend. Don't go against it. Follow stop losses. When you're right, you'll be right big. When you're wrong, you'll be wrong small. LLY. Okay. Look at one more ticker. If you want to learn more, man, I mean, you can sign up for my mentorship if you want. Again, not forcing you or anything, but I can only teach you so much in the short form. But in general, like no matter what strategy you follow, like it doesn't have to be like how I trade. No matter what strategy you follow, what entry system, 3 rules I'll give you. Trade the trend, don't go against it, right? Set stop losses before you enter the trade. Follow stop losses, and only trade stocks with momentum. Okay, don't trade a ship stock. Stock selection, get your direction right, and then follow your stop losses. Okay, whenever you're right, you'll be right, like a big right big time. When you're wrong, you'll be wrong small. Okay, simple. Okay, LLY, what is happening here? This is the prediction I called. So this is the range here. We broke the range to the upside, then failed, broke this green box here, came back down after earnings. Now look at this, popping back here again, right? So if I draw a little box here, kind of forming a double top here. Looks like we bounced considerably here. Maybe we'll sell a little bit of retracement here. In this case, maybe you'll see 660 or something like that. And then we got to take this resistance here and then this box here. You will see some sell here, at least a little pullback. Looks like it's on the 4 hour. They are trying to do that. But eventually it looks like I don't know if it'll actually go back to the highs because for now we got it ready. This looks like a dead cat. So we got to see if they buy this dip here. So I would say around 660. Okay. If you do a little fib here, you can kind of see this is probably the area. Look at this. Half retracement, 660 area. Golden pockets around 660. Alright. I didn't even have to draw that, but that's here. Alright. So this area has to hold. We'll draw a little box here. 660-ish. So this area has to hold here. If it doesn't, we'll go back to lows. If it does hold, maybe we'll retest highs, and the next time around we'll go higher. This is called moving average cloud. What is the other one? Amazon and then HD. Alright, last 2 tickers before we call it. Okay. Amazon very strong comparatively. Oh my god, Amazon didn't sell at all. Wow, amazing. Well, look at this. We will probably take it. I took one trade on Amazon a few days ago, last week. Again, so this looks actually nice. If they invert this 4 hour candle, this is a long for me. Okay. This doesn't sell at all today. Participate at all. Amazon looks good. For long, so I mean, you want to see this inversion. This is assuming market inverts. If market continues to sell, I won't trade this. Okay, it's probably going to come back down here. And HD, let's look at HD. Very nice, very nice. This is one of the names on the SPY that was green today. Very nice looking chart. Obviously, someone knows something. Yeah, this looks good. Looks like could be a short squeeze trade because they inverted this candle here. This is what you want to see. If you want to see short squeezes happen, there's a trend break. They inverted that, so they invert this trade. So basically, you have a demand built up here, right? So use this level for a dip and reclaim and stuff like that. Okay, so this is the demand. Right, so as long as this holds here, this is a bullish 603, 605. We'll draw a little box here. So ideally, you want to see this hold here. All right, this is bullish. I don't know if you guys are day trading or swing trading, because I don't know. I haven't day traded this in a while, but this looks good. Okay. All right, guys. So I think we can call it. It's some 8:02. Thank you for joining. Please hit the like button, subscribe button, and let's kill it tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. So hopefully we can catch something. Don't go in with too much of a bias tomorrow. Today was super easy. Long side, short side. Tomorrow, be patient. We'll keep risk tight. And once direction is set, we'll be able to catch something. Friday is going to be insane, so hopefully tomorrow we can make some money, and Thursday we can make some money, and then Friday we can just chill Jackson Hole. Okay. Yes, King Corey. Okay. Anyway, guys, see you guys in the chat tomorrow. Good night.